Prescott, Arizona is one of the most desirable small towns in America. It's been named a top 10 place to retire for several years. It's packed with history, stunning nature, and a friendly small town vibe. But is it perfect? Well, not exactly. But just like anywhere, there are pros and cons. And if you're thinking of moving here, you need to hear both sides first.
Hey everyone, I'm Jessica.
And I'm Lisa.
And in today's video, we're going to go over some pros and cons about living in Prescott. Before you pack your bags and call the movers, let's talk about wildfire risk, rising home prices, and why some people may find it hard to live in Prescott.
Let's start with an obvious pro, the landscape. Prescott is tucked between the Bradshaw Mountains and the Sierra Prieta mountain range. And sure, they may not be the Colorado Rockies, and thank God we don't get that Colorado snow here, but with iconic views like Thumb Butte and Granite Mountain, they bring character and charm. Drive 10 minutes in any direction and you'll feel like you're in a whole new ecosystem. Towering ponderosa pines, massive granite boulders at Watson Lake, or wide open prairies in Williamson Valley, home to beautiful equestrian estates. Oh, and if you're coming from Phoenix expecting saguaro cactus, you won't find them here. Prescott sits at over 5,000 feet elevation, past the saguaro's limit to successfully survive. It's pine country up here, not cactus country.
The second pro about Prescott is its rich Western history. Prescott was Arizona's territorial capital for 15 years before we even became a state. That history lives on in the old buildings around the courthouse square. You've got the governor's mansion from 1864 still standing on its original site, now part of the Charlotte Hall Museum. And Whiskey Row is full of colorful, historical characters like Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. And yes, the Palace Saloon is still open and still serving and is the oldest continually operating business and bar in the entire state. After a massive fire in 1900 destroyed 4 blocks of downtown, the town was rebuilt in sturdy brick and stone, and that's the historic charm you see today.
Pro number 3 is that there are events and festivals year-round. There is almost always something going on at Prescott's Courthouse Plaza. You'll find numerous art and crafts fairs, antique shows, festivals, car shows, and live concerts. There are parades throughout the year, like the Veterans Day Parade, the 4th of July Parade, and that's part of the Prescott Frontier Days and the world's oldest rodeo, the Holiday Light Parade, and the Christmas Parade. The downtown streets provide the starting point for not one, but 2 major competitions, the Whiskey Road Off-Road Bike Race and the Whiskey Road Marathon. And as I've already mentioned, Frontier Days and the world's oldest rodeo, which is held at the fairgrounds during the week of 4th of July. Musical events include a jazz summit and a folk music festival, and the Acker Night Music Showcase is a unique musical event held between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Prescott is also home to the Cowboy Poets Gathering held at Yavapai College. There is also the annual Highland Games and Festival Fair celebrating Scottish culture and features traditional athletic competitions, music and dance, and is usually held in September at the beautiful Watson Lake Park here in Prescott.
Pro number 4 is diverse home choices. Not only is our topography diverse, but so are our neighborhoods. Prescott has just about anything you might wish for except for beachfront property. We'll start with the historic homes of downtown Prescott and the famous Mount Vernon Ave. Just a few blocks east of the Courthouse Plaza are some beautiful Victorian-era homes, but you can find vintage homes and a number of architectural styles scattered throughout the neighborhood surrounding downtown. Craftsman style, classic bungalow, mission style, Spanish, colonial, and ranch style homes can all be found in Prescott. If you like a mid-century modern style home, you'll find those scattered around the Prescott area as well. You'll also find newer neighborhoods which feature contemporary homes of many different styles. For the most part, Prescott has avoided the cookie-cutter developments, although some have popped up in recent years. Developers here have done a great job blending homes into the landscape, avoiding the endless sea of beige you see elsewhere in Arizona. And if it's golf you're looking for, you've got plenty of options. There are 8 courses between Prescott and Prescott Valley, both public and private, so you will find homes with golf course views as well.
Pro number 5 is community and lifestyle. Prescott lives up to its motto of everybody's hometown. Whether you're here full-time or seasonally, people are welcoming. And it's not just in Prescott, but the entire Quad Cities area, which also includes Prescott Valley, Chino Valley, and Dewey-Humboldt. Prescott's population is made up of residents from all areas of the country and abroad, from retirees to remote workers and families. Neighborhoods have block parties, trail hiking groups, and active pickleball clubs. And if you're the volunteering type, there are countless opportunities to plug into the community.
Of course, there are many more pros when it comes to living in Prescott, and as we said at the beginning of the video, no place is perfect. So here are a few of the cons to life in everybody's hometown. Con number 1 is the wildfire risk. Thankfully, the Prescott area is free of hurricanes and tornadoes, and major flooding events are rare due to our dry climate. The undeveloped forest lands can be prone to fires, and when you consider the recent tragic losses in the West Coast and Hawaii, that may be a concern for you. Arizona averages over 450,000 acres lost to wildfires per year. Prescott's surrounding forests are beautiful, but do require proactive management. Thankfully, we have very active fire departments that are extremely proactive in conducting frequent controlled and prescribed burns in the forest areas, removing dead trees and underbrush. And many neighborhoods are designated as fire-wise, meaning they educate and support homeowners on reducing fire risk. Look for these communities when buying. It can even help with insurance.
Con number 2 is the cost of living and housing. Prescott is about 15% above the national average for cost of living, and housing is the biggest driver, which is to be expected in a popular area where many people want to live. In July 2025, the median home price in Prescott is about $660,000. Prescott Valley is lower at $460,000, but both are well above the national average of $435,000. Not to mention that during COVID, people were coming here in droves. Our home prices surged, and even though we are seeing a cooling market, Prescott is still a high demand market.
Con number 3 is the limited job market. The average wage in Prescott is 16% below the national number, and those moving to Prescott without a job will find that opportunities may be comparatively few. Government and healthcare are the principal job providers in the area, as well as Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. And although there are no major retail centers in Prescott, we do have big box stores such as 3 Walmarts, a Costco, 2 Home Depots, and a Lowe's. We also have an Amazon distribution center in Prescott Valley. Hospitality, food and beverage services, and tourism also provide jobs for Prescott area residents. But our best advice is that unless you are retiring or you have a remote job, be sure to have a job lined up before you move here. And if you do work remotely, which a lot of folks do, you'll get to enjoy the beautiful Prescott setting without going to an office every day. In addition, Prescott has always been a secondary market, meaning that historically people retire here or buy second homes or investment properties here.
Con number 4 is wildlife encounters. Some call it charm, others call it a deal breaker, but Prescott shares its borders with national forest land, and that means critters. Personally, we consider our local wildlife to be a pro, but there are those who may not like the idea of having a raccoon, a skunk, a bobcat, or an occasional mountain lion, and even a bear wandering the neighborhood. Statistically, the danger from any of these creatures is very small. In the end, it comes down to your personal comfort level. You can live side by side with these animals if you are prepared to give them their space, to treat them with respect, and most importantly, have common sense. If you're a pet owner and you're in the habit of leaving your dog or cat outside, you need to be aware of the risk. And don't leave your dog or cat food outside. That will attract the wildlife as well.
Con number 5 is small town quirks. Prescott is a small town, and yes, the sidewalks roll up every evening, though many Prescott vendors offer live music and performances in the evening. Finding a place to enjoy a cocktail or have a bite to eat after a night at the theater or listening to your favorite musician could pose a challenge. And if you're used to the big city where clubs stay open to 2 or 3 a.m. 7 days a week, you will be disappointed. But hey, look at it this way. Enjoy a beer and a cocktail at your home. It's cheaper and you won't have to drive. Many local restaurants and some businesses do not open on Sunday and Monday, so plan ahead and call to make sure your place of choice will be open. Mall-style shopping for the most part is the Pine Ridge Marketplace. There are a couple of restaurants here, a huge sporting center, and some small shops. But like a lot of malls around the country, it has gone by the wayside. So if you're accustomed to spending a day browsing through Nordstrom's, Neiman Marcus, or Bloomingdale's, your best bet would be to plan a day trip down to Scottsdale or hit Las Vegas for a couple of days. Of course, Prescott does have a great selection of locally owned shops and boutiques offering wonderful merchandise. But if you're looking for storefronts with names like Versace, Gucci, and Prada, I'm afraid Prescott falls just a bit short.
So what do you think? Do the pros outweigh the cons? We sure think so. We've been helping people buy and sell homes in Prescott for over 30 years combined between the two of us. Whether you're looking for a second home, a retirement property, or just want a slower pace of life, we can help you find the perfect spot in the Prescott area. Drop a comment below, give this video a like if you found it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more honest, local insight into life in Prescott, Arizona. And hey, don't make your move blind. Let us help you find the right home in the right neighborhood the first time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye-bye.